Our first reading this morning comes from the Old Testament book of Isaiah. This passage comes from the part of the book known as 3rd Isaiah, chapters 56 to 66, believed to have been written at least 100 years after the first two parts of this book. The Jewish people have returned from exile in Babylon to their former homeland called Judah, to find it in ruins, their temple destroyed. Facing constant threat from neighboring kingdoms and the challenges of rebuilding their lives, they have begun to wonder why their life was so difficult. Because they had always believed that God intervened in their history. They now had to face the reality that God was either leaving them in misery or there was no God. These last 10 chapters of Isaiah are full of the despair of a broken people. And right in the middle of these chapters comes this passage we will read today that calls for hope, that a light will come that will bring new life. Now reading Isaiah 60 verses 1 to 6. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of God has risen upon you. For darkness shall cover the earth, and thick darkness the peoples. But God will rise upon you, and God's glory will appear over you. Nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn. Lift up your eyes and look around. They shall gather together. They come to you. Your sons shall come from far away, and your daughters shall be carried on their nurses' arms. Then you shall see and be radiant. Your heart shall thrill and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be brought to you. The wealth of the nations shall come to you. A multitude of camels shall cover you. The young camels of Midian and Ephah, all those from Sheba shall come. They'll bring gold and frankincense, and shall proclaim the glory of God. This is the passage that Matthew would use to create the story of the wise ones who would come from the east bearing gifts for a new king, a new light. Matthew believed that Jesus was the light that Isaiah hoped for, that had finally come to another time of despair for the Jewish people. Hear the words of this very familiar story from Matthew 2, 1 to 12. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise ones from the east came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising and have come to pay homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all Jerusalem with him. And calling together the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." Herod secretly called for the wise ones and learned from them the exact time when the star appeared. Then he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child. And when you have found him, bring me word so that I may also go and pay homage." So they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother. They knelt down and paid him homage. Then opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.
Thanks be to God.